Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Teach Me How. Today I'll be explaining how to 100% the Tomb of Eilram in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on the hardest difficulty without taking damage. Now this split will contain the entire tomb, as well as the sections leading up to the next boss fight. So before we get started, let me give you my typical disclaimer. This is not a guide to the best or only way to complete this without damage, but simply an explanation of how and why I used the strategies I used in my World First No Damage run. Alright, so as we reach the bottom of the tomb, you'll have some platforming to do while avoiding the Skungus plants. As you reach the bottom of the slide here, execute the closest scaz to you and then move back against the wall. The wind will actually displace the remaining scaz and do damage to them as they impact the wall, so just hang out here and wait for them to die. There is a small chance one could push through the wind. If that happens, just kill it. Now we want to 100% the tomb so we don't have to come back this way later on, which minimizes risk for the run overall. So that means we need to do this puzzle now. It's fairly simple, so copy what I do here, and don't forget the echo in the chamber at the back of the area.
It's not just wind rippling through these chimes. Voices from the past. Using Zepho meditation rituals. I think they were training Force users.
Moving on, kill the 3 scaz in this next area to pick up a bit of XP. Following my kill order here is highly recommended. For this mini puzzle, I like to open the vent and immediately close it again. This pushes the object to its apex and allows it the most momentum for you to get across to the other side the first time. So for this slide coming up, you'll want to move to the middle of the slide, and as soon as you start sliding, do not touch any controls. At the very end of the slide, hold forward and jump. Once you land the rope, you need to look left. You'll then need to rope across to get the crate and the scan at the back of this area. Once you've got these, head back out and continue further into the tomb. So to make it across the gap in this next area, you're supposed to use the wind to push you across. Well, I absolutely suck at it, at consistently getting through it anyway, so I came up with my own way. You can use some of the rubble on the left wall here to jump and climb up to the other side. Much more simple, and looks cooler in my opinion. Now once you climb up, you'll face 2 scaz. I like to pull them back until they're within attack range, and then just drop down, and then jump and hit the Skungus, which will cause it to blow up, killing the scaz. You can climb back up, and swing on this Skaz hole to kill the final Skaz. So to platform across the next section consistently, I came up with a few rules. For the first jump, start at the Skaz hole, and make sure that Cal's left shoulder is aligned to the right side of the platform. Sprint forward and jump. If done properly, the wind will push you out and onto the platform. For the second jump, just simply sprint forward directly towards it and do not jump. For the last jump, just repeat the same strategy as the first. Left shoulder aligned with the right side of the platform, sprint forward and jump. Now before you do the bridge, you'll need to move to this location. Blow up the Skungus, run in the area, and then run out. You need to dip your toes into this area for some exploration percentage to 100% the tomb. Alright, so for the bridge, I like to edge forward slowly until the prompt comes up. It'll look like you're right up on it when in fact you're fairly far back. This will give you a tiny head start on the bridge. Now once you activate the wind, you need to immediately jump across, sprint, jump again, sprint, and then do the final jump to the other side. This is the safest way to get across because this will be the only time that all of the Skungus plants are out of your way. If you wait too long, they'll regrow and pose a significant risk. As you round the corner here, you'll be face to face with your first Tomb Guardian. We don't yet have the required ability to safely deal with this enemy, so you'll need to run by it. Now the Guardian will open up with one of two attacks, either a charged sweep or a charged volley. If the Guardian sweeps, simply outrange it and then run and roll by. If the Guardian volleys, run in this pattern to avoid the orbs, then run and roll by. Either way, get to the wind and jump up and continue forward. So I'm going to speed through this next section. However, note that this is where you'll acquire the Force Push ability. Now after you gain Force Push and finish the cutscene, you'll encounter another Tomb Guardian. Specific to the Tomb of Eilram only, whenever a Guardian charges up to do an attack, you can Force Push to interrupt them and leave them vulnerable to attack. So you'll want to do that here to stun the Guardian. Push the door, and then run to the meditation point. So coming out of the flashback, the game can bug, leaving you with more or less force than you should have. If you have less force than normal, you run the risk of not having enough force to safely deal with the Guardian. So rest at the meditation point, then fight the Guardian. Note that when you strike the Guardian at low health, a kill animation will execute that will fully restore all of your force. So after it's dead, don't forget to scan it and then move back into the room for another scan over the sarcophagus. You'll then want to follow my path here and head backwards for a crate, an echo, and another scan.
Was destroyed long ago. What's that, big one?
After you get the scan, head back further. You need to defeat the Guardian you ran past earlier so you can get the secret here. Start by jumping off and performing an execute for free damage. Then deal with the Guardian the same as the other one. Once it's defeated, push the Skungus into the wall and pick up the essence. Once you've gotten the essence, head back to the main chamber of the tomb.
Zepho crafted this artifact as an offering to the wind. It was destroyed intentionally for some reason.
So run forward and deal with the last Tomb Guardian here. Once you've defeated this enemy, there will be no more enemies left in the tomb to damage you. After you defeat the Guardian, move to the orb, up the hill, and push it to the location on the left. Make sure you slow it before it settles in the hole. Then move to this location, and then once it settles, take the elevator up to find a crate and an echo for you to get.
Hey! So what was in there?
Now once you've gotten these, take the slide down, and then just keep moving toward the back of the area and complete this platforming section to get your last tomb echo. Alright, so now you simply just need to complete the puzzle to leave the tomb. Follow my example here on how to do this, otherwise just skip to the exit of the tomb. So before leaving and getting in the elevator, ensure the tomb is 100%. If it is, take the elevator back to the ruins.
What did you find?
The Zepho went to Kashyyyk. Cordova mentioned someone named Tarful.
A Wookiee chieftain. They were old friends.
Think he's still around?
There's only one way to find out. We have to go to Kashyyyk.
If you followed everything I've done to this point, you should have 4 skill points. You'll want to use those now to acquire the following abilities. Agile Deflection will allow you to block blaster fire while sprinting. This is invaluable and will be used heavily in the run. Next, acquire Force Attunement. This simply just gives you more force, and more force is never a bad thing. Third, you'll want to get Mass Push. You'll be using this ability a lot for various strategies, some soon to come. And lastly, pick up Enhanced Force Recovery. This helps with force regeneration, and again, having more force is never a bad thing. Now, once you've gotten your abilities, we need to deal with the enemies in front of us. Everything I'm about to describe to you relies on how you kill this first melee trooper in front of you. To use my strategy, you absolutely must jump and execute this trooper, otherwise the rest of the enemies in the area will not engage you. So after you kill the melee trooper, move back and force push the rocket from the rocket trooper in front of you. You'll then turn to your 10 o'clock and repeat this on the next rocket trooper. Once he's dead, follow my path here and move to where the rocket trooper was. You'll then want to deflect the blaster fire until the trooper is dead. Now don't worry about the rocket troopers, you're completely safe standing here. Once that trooper is defeated though, move back and you'll notice the rocket trooper here moving across the area. He's moving because he can't see you. Once he's close enough to the other melee troopers, move back out to the edge so he can see you. Push his rocket to kill him, the melee trooper, and do 50% damage on the melee commander. Immediately after, turn to the last rocket trooper and push his rocket. Once that is done, drop down, slow, and defeat the commander. Now that the area is cleared out, you'll want to take this opportunity to get 2 crates and the echo here before continuing. You'll be doing this now so that later you can skip this area due to the fact that there will be 2 bounty hunters waiting for you here when you come back.
Something we can use? Getting a strange feeling from this one. Ancient Zepho gathered here. I wonder why.
Once you've gotten everything, head out and follow my path to the next echo. Now for the slide coming up, there are 4 parts. This slide is not too difficult, but it can be troublesome if done haphazardly. So like everything else, I've developed some rules to get through this section perfectly every time. For slide 1, simply move onto the slide and do not move Cal. The game will move you around the corner. At the end, simply jump. For slide 2, again, do not move Cal until you get to this corner. Once you get here, briefly hold right and then let go. The game will automatically level you out for you to jump the gap. For slide 3, again, do not move Cal until just before the end of the slide. You'll hold forward and nudge Cal to the left, then jump. For the final slide, steady yourself along the left, holding forward. Once you reach the end of the slide, jump out and aim for this general area of the wall. Complete the wall runs, ensuring to go as far down the wall as possible on each section, as this will minimize the chance of you coming up short when jumping for the rope at the end. When you jump for the rope, ensure you move your camera to the rope and track it through the jump. Once you land the rope, swing to the other side and rest at the meditation point. As you move into the next area, make sure you run along the outer edge here. Doing this will keep the Jotaz from seeing you. As you jump across to the Phylac, target it and wait for it to charge. Then, once it charges, roll 45 degrees to the right. As you come out of your roll, you'll want to hold down Force Push to execute the Mass Push ability, sending the Phylac over the edge. Now move down and aggro the Stormtroopers. You'll want to pull the melee trooper back here and kill him. This keeps you out of range of the rocket trooper. Move back out and bait the first shot from a rocket trooper, and while he's reloading, move forward and stand in front of the boxes. Push his rocket and move to the elevator. Now the reason you were standing in front of the boxes is because the game will often connect your Force Push ability to the box and move the box when you mean to push the rocket. Thus, you'll push the box and the rocket will hit you in the face. So never execute a Force Push near a movable object.
Its power discharge will draw their attention immediately.
I'll be back as fast as I can.
As you come out of the elevator, make sure to rest and then open the shortcut in front of you. Get the scan, and then kill the 2 Skaz, and move forward towards the landing pad. The last enemy in this split is the Atst boss fight, which I'll be covering in a separate episode. So with that, hopefully this was sufficient enough to get you through this split without taking damage. If you enjoyed this episode of Teach Me How, please consider subscribing and make sure to like the video. Doing this is the most direct way you can tell me you're enjoying the series, and it helps the channel out a ton. I'll be releasing new split episodes every week, so don't forget to turn on notifications so you get to see them as soon as they're put out. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and thanks for learning.